In the quiet suburban streets, their lives were a tapestry of shared dreams and unspoken promises. A perfect picture, woven with threads of happiness and mutual respect. This was the world of a seemingly idyllic couple, building a future, brick by brick. Until one crisp morning, the threads began to unravel. The sirens wailed. The flashing lights painted the ordinary home in an ominous glow. And then, the knock on the door. A moment that would forever cleave their lives into a before and an unthinkable after. The accusation was swift, brutal, and utterly bewildering. She was arrested. Not for a minor infraction, but for a heinous financial crime, grand larceny, embezzlement on an unprecedented scale. Millions were missing. The narrative crafted by authorities painted her as the mastermind, a cunning manipulator. Her protests were drowned out by the weight of seemingly irrefutable evidence. How could this be? How could a woman, known for her integrity, suddenly become the prime suspect in such a cold-blooded scheme? As the world watched, her husband emerged, a pillar of distraught support. His public appeals were tearful, his voice choked with apparent anguish, pleading for his wife's innocence, for justice. He spoke of her unwavering character, their unbreakable bond. The public initially rallied, swayed by his performance of a loving spouse caught in a nightmare. But beneath the facade, for those with a keen eye, a subtle dissonance began to echo. A hollow ring. A tremor in the carefully constructed act. Was this genuine grief, or something far more sinister? Detective Harding, a seasoned veteran, inherited the case. On paper, it was open and shut, every piece of digital evidence, every financial transaction, pointed directly to the wife. Yet, a nagging doubt persisted. Small inconsistencies. Anomalies in the timing. He started digging, meticulously re-examining what others had accepted at face value. Harding understood that the easiest path isn't always the truth. He knew that sometimes, the most obvious culprit is precisely who someone wants you to see. Harding's focus turned to the digital trail. What he uncovered was chilling. A sophisticated, almost artistic, fabrication of evidence. Email accounts created in her name, forged with meticulous precision. Login times that contradicted her alibis. Every keystroke, a calculated lie. The husband had spent months, perhaps even years, planting these digital breadcrumbs, ensuring that when the hammer finally fell, it would crush his wife, not him. It was an act of cold, intellectual malice, executed with terrifying foresight. The deeper Harding delved, the darker the husband's true life became. A secret existence, masked by the facade of marital bliss. He was drowning in debt. Gambling losses. Extravagant expenditures on a hidden mistress. He lived a life beyond his means, funding it through desperate, escalating measures. The company's accounts, managed jointly, became his personal piggy bank. He wasn't just broke, he was facing financial ruin, exposure, and the shattering of his carefully constructed world. His wife, innocent and trusting, became his ultimate escape clause. The sinister secret was embezzlement. For 8 agonizing years, he had systematically siphoned funds from the company he co-owned with a lifelong friend. He transferred money through shell corporations, disguised transactions as legitimate expenses, and meticulously altered financial records. The scale of his betrayal was immense, not only to his wife but to his business partner, his colleagues, and everyone who had placed their trust in him. His carefully laid plan was designed to ensure that when the scheme collapsed, his wife would take the fall, leaving him free and wealthy. The confrontation was inevitable. Detective Harding laid out the evidence, piece by chilling piece. The fabricated emails, the altered financial logs, the undeniable proof of his secret life. The husband's carefully maintained composure began to fracture. The mask, worn for so long, finally fell away. His tears were no longer for his wife, but for himself. Faced with irrefutable truth, he broke. He confessed. Every chilling detail of his calculated, cold-blooded betrayal tumbled out, leaving no doubt of his guilt. the news spread like wildfire. The wife was exonerated. Her freedom, stolen for months, was finally restored. But the path back was arduous. The betrayal had left indelible scars, not just on her reputation, but on her very soul. The world saw her innocence, but she carried the weight of incomprehensible deception. It was a liberation, yes, but one shadowed by the profound, chilling realization that the person she had trusted most in the world had tried to destroy her, simply to save himself. The husband stood trial, not as a grieving spouse, but as a manipulative betrayer. The evidence, meticulously gathered by Detective Harding, was overwhelming. His confession, undeniable. He was convicted on all counts. The judge's sentence was firm, 15 years in prison. A lifetime to reflect on the devastation he had wrought. Justice, slow and arduous, had finally prevailed. But for the victim, the scars of such a calculated, cold-blooded betrayal would forever remain. This story serves as a chilling testament to the dark depths of human deception. A betrayal so profound, so calculated, it leaves an indelible mark. It reminds us that appearances can be profoundly deceiving, and that sometimes, the greatest monsters wear the most charming smiles. The wife, though free, carries the knowledge of her husband's monstrous act, a permanent wound to her trust. The chilling question lingers: how many others conceal such sinister secrets behind the veneer of a perfect life?